modern day masculine man? Take one.
What makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't break you, are not me, and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. I always just love how I hit that whoo at the end. I can't hit it right now, but I felt like I hit that boy kind of similar to Marvin right there on that thing, Jack.
Oh, we're doing a little Marvin Gaye, are we?
Mm-hmm. Woo!
You do know that's my family, right?
Oh, for real?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Everybody, I've always been told I look like Marvin Gaye my whole life, so that's a cool thing.
See?
What they call it, 6 degrees of separation.
That's what they say.
Well, everybody,
but we'll see.
It's a new day, it's a new way, it's a new view, and it's a new you, and it's a new Wednesday. And I'm here with my co-host, Carla, Nicole Willis, and we are going to be piggybacking off a conversation that we started last week that I really enjoyed, and I thought that we needed to finish because I felt like you had a lot more to go into. But before we get started, how has your week been going so far?
Oh, let's just say it's been moving, sir, moving. So yeah, just a lot going on. I mean, you know, I'm always up to something. It's been great. It's been a good week, really. To be honest, I've been working on questionnaires now, and where I'm creating questionnaires to where it's interactive. So when we do a different show for different things and themes or topics we're talking about, people can actually take the questionnaires and see where they're landing for coaching. Yes, so they can be like, well, I'm kind of here or there. So yeah, I'm working on questionnaires now. That's my new deep dive on my new project. And I also
Spiritual House Sage in the house, so y'all know it. Ooh, Spiritual House Sage.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll drink to that.
Okay, what you sipping on? That look like a pina colada or something, a Russian mule or something.
No, it's just a margarita.
Oh, okay. Margarita. And I'm chilling on a fresh haircut.
I see you. Let's go. Yes. I see Miss
always get together on Wednesday. I'm trying to make Wednesday my cut day so I can be cute for Miss Carla in the show. That way it'll be fresh.
You making it look good for me.
You already know.
I love it. Let's go.
So check this out.
Today.
Say what?
I got a surprise for you.
Oh, okay. So let's go ahead and get going. We talking about passenger or partner. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I really was enjoying the conversation. Passenger or partner. What are you in the boat, the paddle boat of life? It's going to tell on you what you're doing. Are you sitting there enjoying the ride, or are you helping out and assisting?
Yes.
Go ahead and do your thing, Miss Carla.
Well, I think that last time we kind of piggybacked on some stuff to where I think it's very important that we don't lose sight that it's important and vital for the woman in the boat with you in life. She's actually not just riding in the boat, but she's checking as a GPS. She's making sure she's got the umbrellas to cover y'all. She's looking out besides just riding and enjoying your work and then not contributing. Mm-hmm. So I think the beginning stages or the origin of relationships was started off where it wasn't really about romance. It wasn't about choosing. It wasn't about, well, I want to be with him and he chooses me, and all that wasn't even a part of even the origin of marriage, period. So as we evolved into this love space, I think a lot of times we're losing the fact that it's very vital and important that yes, it's fine to have men that are in that space. Let's be clear. There are men out here that enjoy the traditional style of love affairs.
Mm-hmm.
They do like taking care of their women, and they do like doing what they need to do for the woman. However, there's also a what balance, right? So
Yeah.
normally those women actually tend to just, oh, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I want to really find a way to where um I'm not just riding in the boat of life, but I'm also actually finding myself more involved. So if
Yeah.
we look at the balance of traditional love affairs, we notice that 9 times out of 10, it's a clear understanding of what she's coming to the table with and what he's bringing to the table. So there's really not a big controversy about that. That's just almost silent.
Yeah.
When you come into it, you know that my wife or my husband is going to do this and do that. But now, because we've gotten so transactional, it's like, what is this? What is it about this transaction that is bashing up against the rhythm of the love affair? What is that? And it's frustrating.
I guess it's because at one time, I really believe technology changed love a lot. You know what I'm saying? When I said technology changed love, based on, like you said, traditionally, when you come into a love affair, two people going to be paddling. You know what the man was going to be doing. You knew what the woman was going to be doing. The
Right.
man was going to be out working the field or working, and the woman was going to be at home cooking, cleaning, and maintaining a household, or possibly maintaining a farm in the beginning.
Right.
So it
Yes.
was a situation where women, the Bible say, and I hate to go to the Bible, but I'm just using it because it's just a point of reference.
That's a
The
point of
Bible said that women are busybodies. So women have a busy energy that used to be fulfilled through domestic duties back in the day. And that's what people don't realize. A woman used to have to wash clothes at the creek. She had to scrub them. A woman had to start in June sewing quilts for the winter, weaving baskets. So a woman had a certain humming spirit of, yeah, I might be working on this quilt all day, but by the time the winter come, all my kids gonna have new socks, new coats, new this, new that. So there was a certain fulfillment that they got
yes.
from being a traditional woman. Now, a traditional woman is, a stay-at-home woman, what you would be considered a traditional woman. You got a washing machine, you got a microwave, you can Uber Eats. It ain't nothing for her to do that to kill that busybody spirit.
Well,
It's
actually, depending. Because in some traditional, even current modern day love affairs, the wife may not be doing the traditional cooking, cleaning things because, of course, that's kind of knocked out. Or, they may even have a maid, so that's
yeah,
not
yeah,
necessary. But she does do something that imports some type of rhythm in the household, in the family, that is keeping the man buoyant.
if
Because
she's a good woman.
yes, well, not even
Yeah,
necessarily good, but she's just active. She's focused. She's involved with the marriage. So she's going to do something, whether it's it, and sometimes the wife can be someone that is checking for things he doesn't see.
yeah,
This is the part that's missed a lot of times by men that are really frustrated by the hit they take from divorce. But if he can be aware of the women that he is choosing with, that is in a healthy love dynamic, that is traditional, she will be making sure that certain things behind him that he can't see in his peripheral vision, she's covering that. If he's hot, she's making sure he's cold. If he's got stuff that's going on, she's checking that schedule. She's making sure the calls are made. She's making sure that the assignments are done. So she may be more organized than he, but she's still involved with the operation of the love affair. That's not always the case, though. If she doesn't really know much about production, then she
yeah,
might be more involved with homeschooling the child. So, in the homeschooling, that can require her to be what? More aware, more knowledgeable of what is going on in the child's upbringing besides just being there and watching soaps all day or watching this and watching that, but really investing in the growth of the children. So what I'm saying is we can't always assume that the woman's in the boat like the woman in the boat on the picture, but those that are is coming from a transactional relationship, not traditional relationship. Because
Yes.
traditional should be that she is actually importing something. It has to be something she's doing to make sure that that husband is buoyant and he's still able to do the task at hand.
And see, I was looking at it from an aspect of what you just explained. Women have did that even when they were still working in the field slaughtering hogs. Women have always made sure the household ran a certain way. Women have always made sure the man was comfortable. You know what I'm saying? When the kids come home, hey, daddy coming home, y'all be quiet. See me the shoes at the door, give them a foot massage. Those things
The
that those
mindfulness.
yeah, the intangible things that you're talking about that a lot of men take for granted and a lot of women don't know to do. Those things women have always been doing that since the beginning of time. I'm saying they were doing that back then in addition to actually, like you said, importing something, doing something to actually add something tangible to the household. So
Right.
what I'm saying is now there's a situation where there's not the actual doing something tangible. And I think that leaves a lot of idle time. You know what I'm saying? I was laughing at this dude. I don't know if you saw him. It was two beautiful cases I saw on Iyanla Van Zant. It was one of them was Iyanla Van Zant. It was an older black man, and he was standing up, and his daughter was filming, and he was had him a beer in his hand, and he was like, "I done paid all the bills my whole marriage, 35 years. My wife ain't never opened a bill, never looked at a bill." And the wife was in the corner laughing. Ha ha ha! You right, you right. How you do it, daddy? If he don't pay all the bills, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then it went viral on Facebook and,
Yeah.
and, and millions of views. And then 6 months later, he was on the Yonla Van Zandt. His wife was leaving him and talking about all he ever did was pay bills and try to rule the house, rule the household with an iron fist because he paid for everything. And his children was up there saying the same thing. I was
Mhm.
like, you fucking cornball gump. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a different world where I believe there's a different level of paddling. You know what I'm saying? Or
Absolutely.
so it's like, and then I seen this other guy, he had went viral. He was like this kind of like this influencer. He was a millionaire and he was always talking about if a man don't pay all the bills, he ain't this, he ain't that, he ain't that. And then they saw him like a year later and they was talking to him and he was like, yeah, I got divorced. And they was like, ain't you the dude saying if you paid all the bills? And then he was like, yeah, that's me. And they was kind of like laughing at him. He was like, yeah, man, I learned my lesson. That shit don't mean nothing these days. So it's a situation where I think if a man is paying all the bills,
Mhm.
if he not getting that level of paddling that you're talking about,
Mhm.
he should be able to notice it. Why you don't think he don't notice it? Or you think he notice it and don't care?
Well, it depends on, that's subject to each case. Each case
Yeah.
is different. So, depending upon a man and how he chose the woman that he decided to be in a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when you are young and you get married to a woman, you don't choose well, but you choose to the best of your ability to the knowledge of what you know at the time.
Yeah.
And you're really actually hoping that she is going to evolve. She's going to desire to want to learn. She's going to desire to want to be actually more powerful in the relationship. And also, I think that a lot of women don't really understand the importance of being aware of the man's ego, mainly getting away from so much drama around a man being powerful and getting jealous of his power. If you notice that, women will get jealous of his power and she'll start to sometimes poison the children. Well, your dad is this and that, and she'll try to build a divide between the father's expertise and demands on certain things as far as discipline, because she doesn't understand it and she feels more childish about it than he. And then also, what else is a problem is if you pay attention to the woman's dynamic, she seems to get a little more um, misunderstood. So what I mean by that is sometimes women have a tendency to want to be in a relationship to where they're growing, but they don't want to share when it comes to her going over top of growing from him. So what I mean, for instance, is we never know if that husband that's doing all the taking care of gets crippled, gets disabled, has a sickness, can't go to work, might lose his job. Then all of a sudden the balance is off and now she is the breadwinner. Then we have to look at it, well, does she know how to do that? And would she be able to paddle for him if he can't paddle the boat anymore? So now we have to look at this because I don't think we're being mindful that both partners need to be aware of how the boat is paddled. Both partners need to come up with an agreement that in the event one of us can't row this boat, it still has to be pushed and driven. So how do we do that without being wrong or feeling away? Because you don't know, there's a lot of cryptocurrency going on. There's a lot of different investments we do. We don't know for shit if that stuff collapses or not. Are we going to treat each other well? Or if I'm making more money, we're together, I'm making more money than you, are you going to start being like, well, hell, I don't got to do nothing. Put your feet up and be a burden on me while I'm out working? Or are you going to be like, okay, she's at work. Let me go ahead and kick in and do some of her duties so we're not off balance. And now the boat's not rocking, which the rocking is symbolic to the arguing, the turbulence, the back and forth. We can't get along for shit because we're going back and forth on what we don't want to do and all this. So actually, if we look at the boat is the power, but we also have to realize how important it is that we sit back and realize, you know what? It's really not, we really have gotten to the point where we're really diluting the importance of each other. It's really coming down to monetary. Men have been fucked up by this divorce shit. And the truth is, if you take divorce off the table and the boat starts rocking, the wife is going to have to start paddling the boat, or she's going to have to start helping.
Donald Trump, they're talking about changing the divorce law so divorce won't be incentivized so much.
Right. And that's fine.
It's a situation where it's kind of like you said earlier, where in the traditional situation, when you look at what's required, it's sad that it's so transactional like that, because you got to think about it. I was saying today, we live in a society now where I was saying the depression comes from, we can't go outside and just pick a grape off a tree.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We can't go outside and get an apple. We can't go outside and get anything to eat. We got to go out. We got to buy our water. So we living in a world that money and currency is needed to flow so much that it's then permeated its way into relationships and how we look at man and woman. Because before, like we said, we could go outside and our sustenance came from nature. And the man and the woman just needed each other.
Yes. But
they needed more kids to do the farm. You know what I'm saying? They needed to look ahead and they say, well, look, check this out. Yeah, we need 3 more kids to be able to get a profit off this farm. So we can't break up.
Right.
And if we break up, it's gonna have to be after these 3 kids get a little older. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So they really needed each other physically and emotionally and everything, like each other. And now, like you said, it's this transactional situation. And it's kind of like, if it's this transactional, we're going to have to start talking about it, like you saying, but even more business-like. Those uncomfortable conversations like, okay, yeah, I can pay everything. Yeah, I can hold this down. Yeah, I can do this right now. But what skills do you have if something happened to me? What's your resume? Can you get a gainful employment? Could you take care of everything? Do we
Right.
want to live a lifestyle where it's so massive that you know we need two incomes or one income, or do we want to live this lifestyle off this one income? And if something happened to me or my income drop, like that's going to be such a big hurdle now, Carla, because people don't be honest about their credit score.
Mm-hmm.
People don't be honest about the student loans.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be such a big hurdle. And now, like you said, with social media, you got this whole 50-50 conversation, traditional, non-traditional. So it's like a whole conversation that people are having now, that's superseding attractiveness, and that wasn't even a thing in the beginning. You know
No.
what I'm saying? We didn't bought in attractiveness. It was the main thing, that was the kind of superficial thing. And now it's like, not only do we got to be attracted, it's like you got to be cute and something about you vibing, and
Right.
you got to be monetarily, transactionally together. So it's like, God damn.
Well, here's what I think needs to happen. And I said this multiple times. I have mentioned this across the board since I've been doing coaching about relationships. I think the whole marriage dynamic needs to be completely just thrown out and redone. Because one of the things I think is the discussion about prenups has a bad vibe on it, because once again, the very fiber of the conversation is regarding things.
Mm-hmm.
Outside things that we are saying are tangible. Is I get that. However, we're never discussing what's my treatment value.
Yeah.
How do you treat me is more important to me personally than how much money you make. Because really, it's so funny when the stakes are high and we're making all this money, and hey babe, yeah, go ahead. I mean, if you want to do that, fine, it's no big deal, go ahead, here's extra, here, do this, do that. And it's a freedom. Then you're like, oh, awesome. But when the chips are down, we never talk about how the treatment is if the chips are down for both of us tangibly at the same time. Your finances collapsed, my finances collapsed. Bam, both of us are down. Now our paddle is not only not able to work, it's almost damn near impossible to stay afloat. So if we're not paddling this boat, we're in trouble, both of us. What do we do then? Do we have any skills to help to build with each other? Can we come up with a plan on how to do what we do? And the number one thing is, what's your survival skills? We never talk about this part. What's your survival skills if something happens? Because everything is based off of money. Nothing is based on treatment. So if I don't get well treated in the storms, we already got a storm going on. We're in this paddle boat together, and both of us are having a financial situation. Your finances are collapsed, mine are collapsed. We're in this boat rocking, and then a storm is here. And we don't know how to treat each other. We're nasty to each other. We're back and forth. So this is what I'm talking about. Yes, I get it about the money, but the money don't mean crap if you two cannot be well treating each other. The truth of the matter is, a lot of people in love affairs, really when the chips are down and when those doors close at night, aren't treating each other well. Let's get that on some documents.
But see, that's what I'm saying, Carla. I think that goes back to the beginning, like we said, as we have these conversations and these new dynamics. So say, for example, I say all the time, if 50% of marriages end in divorce, anything with a 50% success rate needs to be reevaluated.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
What I'm saying is, as we go into marriage, we have to go into these conversations in marriage, dating, long-term relationships, whatever. There is a transaction that's happening, and now it's clearly evident, and it's always been kind of the same transaction, no matter how you cut it. So, say for example, most of the time it's hard to discuss a prenup and money because women don't want to admit, I'm coming in this motherfucker to get something from this man. You see what I'm saying?
It'll be exposed. She won't sign it.
But see, that's the thing. We have to expose that. And then on the flip side, we have to expose what this man wants. So let's just be real.
Okay.
If we cut it down dry and take all the bullshit out of relationships, if we talk about what a woman brings to the table, no matter how you cut it up, a man needs a woman's body. When I say a woman's body, he need her. He just need her. Who she is, who she born with. Meaning, let's break it down. He wants her to sleep with him and please him,
Mm-hmm.
massage him. He wants her to cook for him. He wants her to do all those other forms of paddling that you talked about earlier,
Right.
checking, making the phone calls, this, that, and the other.
Okay.
That's service, her servicing her body, mind, and soul to him. That's what he wants, right?
Okay.
That's what he wants. And if a woman can do that for a man, he's absolutely happy. And a woman wants to know, hey, if I'm getting up, giving you my mind, soul, and body, making sure that everything that I do is thinking about you first to make sure you straight so you can go out and get it, then go out and get it, motherfucker. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? That needs to be the said transaction. Like it has to be a conversation that's so plain and upfront, because without that, that's where I think the side eye treatment come in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you like each other in the beginning, that side eye treatment come in when that man said, okay, you're not submitting yourself to me. You see what I'm saying? When I say submitting yourself, that's all those intangible good things that a woman have. Just being kind when he get up in the morning. Hey, packing his lunch when he come home. How was your day? You know what I'm saying? Making those phone calls, thinking about those things, watching his back, like you said. That's her giving of herself. That's her being what we said last week. A man is just looking for a woman. Consideration. Now, on the flip side, that lady is like, okay, you expect me to do all this and then worry about how we gonna buy grocery, nigga? Now I'm side-eyeing you. I'm doing my part and you're not doing your part. So I think those are the conversations that need to be had. Why are we in this? And that way, if somebody happened to fall off,
Mm-hmm.
we can talk about it and understand it through love. Okay, baby, you know I ain't got it like I did, blah, 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 blah. And she like, baby, I'm still here. And maybe she get tired or she can get sick, or she's like, baby, look, I can't do like I normally do. I know the phone calls I was making, I'm having headaches. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a level of understanding that can be had when you really, really, really have that real transactional conversation now that you didn't used to have.
Right. And it also comes down to where your heart is and how much finances are going to dictate those awarded things that you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, if a woman is doing all that, she's not going to have anything outside of that. She's not going to be working. She's going to be working.
No.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
what
so
I'm saying.
that's more traditional. But what I'm saying is, if you're in a love affair that's more modern and balanced, she's got a career, you got a career, y'all are coming together, y'all are going to have to come up with a different conversation and basis. And what I'm saying is, if you have a modern love affair, not traditional and not transactional, but a modern love affair where you both are equally doing something to
Yeah,
where you're trying to get this mission accomplished and fulfilled, and you got things to do. She's got a full working mind, not just a dedication and obligation to you, but she's got a full working mind to be able to help the balancing of the actual love affair and the balancing of the vision that you guys are sharing, or even her individual vision. Then what I'm saying about that is, it now is not about money, because both of you financially are, you're building together. However, when something happens and there's a collapse of some kind, what do you two have at that point is treatment towards each other. If there is not good treatment at that time, where you both are in the boat together and you're rocking because you can't get along because this main part is the money, then you're going to go through the storm worse than if we know how to treat each other, and let's strategize how we both understand we're fucked up here. How are we going to still be kind, still care? How am I going to still massage you, and I'm feeling a way about these bills aren't getting met? We're having to do what? Well, I got eggs over here, you got eggs over there. Let's just bring the eggs together and let's make an omelet. And then we can have it, cut it up and slice it and make it for a longer period of time. Might not have a lot, but we got something to work with together. Let's struggle in this together, but learn how to be more mindful of each other.
You
Even
know,
though she's not, now what I mean by that is she is dedicated to still making sure you're good. But once it gets rainy and stormy, that all that catering and looking out for you and back in and you looking out for her and catering to her is not going to be happening in the storm. So
yeah,
that time we got to see where the heart rate is with each other. Are we willing to be with each other in a decent way and manner? Can we be honest with each other how we're feeling in the storm?
and see that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The difference in the traditional relationship and the now relationship. So, say for example, in that traditional relationship, this is what I be trying to tell people all the time.
Okay.
Whenever you have a situation where a man pays everything,
Mm-hmm.
he is not being liked for him. It's not compatibility. It's specifically because he's paying everything,
Okay.
no matter how you cut it.
Right.
Then when you have that situation where that woman is with a man because he's paying everything, she doesn't like him. She doesn't like him. She is obligated by duty to do something because he's paying everything.
Right. So that's
So when
that's
that
that's that transactional
Yeah.
level. Yeah.
So when that don't work, there's gonna be strife. Now, what I'm saying is, in these the way a relationship is now, for the
Yeah.
most part, a man working and a woman working, because that's just it takes two incomes to
Yes.
survive today.
Absolutely. Yes.
When a woman, and this is what I be trying to tell men, and people think I'm crazy because it's going against the tradition.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman is willing to go half with you, that means that woman says, I really like you, dog. I really care about you because I'm a woman and I'm already out here taking care of myself. I
Well,
want my load to be lighter.
well,
So
for
if a
me, it's like, yeah, I agree, but for me, I've been the breadwinner. I've
I
actually
know
covered. I've
that's
actually
the point
covered.
I'm making. If a woman is willing to be with you
Yeah.
and help you financially, she really likes you. So
Well,
what
and in any of my love affairs I've been in, Javon, I've never been someone that wasn't working. I have never
that's
been a kept woman, as you would say. I've
that's the point
never
I'm
been
making.
that. Never, ever. The only time I was kept is from my father. Other than that, no man has ever taken full 100% care of me.
That's
Financially.
the point I'm making. I'm trying to say to the men, fellas, if this woman is in this day and age will sit back and tell you she want to be fully taken care of, but she want a traditional you pay everything situation because she don't like you.
And that man that she's wanting is gonna want her for her body only.
Exactly. And guess what? That man is at a disadvantage now because back in the day when a man paid everything and he didn't get his way, he can kick her fucking ass. No,
Oh,
listen. No,
I
listen to what I'm saying. Just really listen to what I'm saying. Now, if a man paying everything and he don't get his way and he raises his voice too much, she gonna divorce him and she gonna get half. So it's really worse for a man now trying to pay everything. So what I'm saying is,
okay.
if a woman is if a woman is not willing to go, and when I say half, I don't mean fucking split the bills down the middle. I mean she
I
could
know.
just DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? She just got to be doing something to show, hey, look, I'm trying to help out because I care about you in this situation being
Yes,
stronger, and I
absolutely.
don't want to be sitting back like you say, not
In the boat, just right. Just,
yeah, like and if
oh,
yeah,
oh, look
like
at me. I know he's back here struggling, but I get all the benefits. It's
mhm.
like that's
And
not.
Carla, I think any man that go into a situation where he says, "Baby, he ain't even got to work. I take care of everything." He
Mhm.
know that woman don't want him, but he want her that bad.
Right. Yes.
Remember I said the other day, we
Yes.
all as men have
Yes.
failed for a woman that we just wanted just
Do, but you
because
do it
we
though.
don't give a damn about that. But we know damn well this woman don't love us and don't want us and ain't gonna go all out for us.
Hmm.
I used to date this woman, and I never forget. I remember her child was asking to go see her father, right?
Hmm.
Her father was in jail. The little girl father was in jail, and she was just so adamant about why she wouldn't do it, and why she wouldn't do it, and why she wouldn't do it, and why she wouldn't do it. And
Mhm.
I said to myself one day, I said, I got to stop fucking with this chick because I love the girl begging to see her father, and she won't acquiesce of being. She can't find that in her heart. I know damn well if it get to the point where me and her get into something, she ain't gonna have it in her heart to damn see my point of view.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, hell no, I got to leave her alone.
But you sat back and looked at your choice paradigm.
Yeah.
You're looking at this like, okay, so this is, you got a preview, or like I say, a relationship
But it
commercial.
was somebody I really, really, really wanted
Oh,
to
I'm
be with,
sure.
Carla, that I would have, but I'm like, man, I'm finna play myself for a fool. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I made a video today. I was talking, and it's funny because it kind of goes on this subject. Two quick points.
Mhm.
Where I told my son, he was asking me when he was a little younger, finna go on his first real date where he working in, a grown man, got his own place, got his own car. He like, I'm about to take this girl out. And
Mhm.
she was like, where we going? And I was like, take her where you want to go. He was like, well, I don't want to go too cheap, but I don't want to go too expensive. He was like, I kind of want to impress her. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, if she like you, you ain't got to impress her, but I get it. I know
Right.
yeah, I understand you don't want to, you want to go somewhere decent. I
Right.
said, do this. I said, do this. I said, this is what, and I would suggest it to me, but I was joking with my son and he did it for it. I was saying, do this. I said, tell her you got $150 to spend and you can go anywhere she want to go and whatever money left, she can have it. I said she will be very frugal if she see that as her left or if that's her money.
Oh
You know
wow.
what I'm saying? The whole idea of a lot of times women want to go somewhere nice just so they can take a picture or say they've been somewhere nice. But if you tell a woman, look, I got 200, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man. That's how I told him, say, look, I got 200. I'm a man. I don't care where I eat. I just want to have a good time looking in your face.
Right.
Shit, we can go wherever you want to go. And if there's some money left over, you can have it.
Right.
She was
Right.
like, we
Right.
can go for a walk and get an ice cream.
You got a McDonald's or shoot while
Yeah,
you playing, right?
yeah. And then another situation, it was similar. The girl that I was telling you that I was in love with that had the daughter, I, knew her from college and she had moved off, you know what I'm saying? And she had asked me to come see her. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And she was like, well, you're gonna have to get a room and this, that, and the other. I was like, but you got a crib. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, why would I want to hang out with you at my crib? I want to do something or not be at my crib, a familiar environment. I ain't seen
Right.
you in so long. That ain't romantic at my crib.
Right.
And so, me being me, I was like, well, look, I'd rather hang out at your crib so you can show me your woman skills because I'm interested in you for real, like really dating you,
Okay.
being with you. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, do this. Clean your fucking house up real good, like a woman. Deep clean her house, something that go impress me when I walk in your house real clean. I said, I'm gonna buy some groceries. And the money that I would have spent going out on the hotel, I'm gonna just give it to you. I said I probably was gonna spend a thou wow the whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, whatever. We don't eat in groceries. You can have the rest. Man, I got up there. That bitch house was so clean. We had a great weekend at her crib, and I got to see how she interacted as a woman in her house, in her setting. That's what I wanted to see. Her
Right.
house was clean. She cooked both days. I got to see, did she have a lot of sheets and towels? Did she change her sheets after we have sex? Did I get matching towels both days? Was her laundry room folded? I got to see her in her action, and I gave her the rest of the money, and she thought that was cool. But
Okay.
she wouldn't have never. She was looking at it like I'm gonna spend $1,000 on getting a hotel and eating out, and she wouldn't have got nothing.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I have always been willing to have what was that so-called difficult conversation to see. And
And you
most people
should.
are afraid to have that. Most men are afraid that they're gonna scare a woman off.
Mm.
But like I said, there's still always that incentive behind it. Like, hey, you can get the rest of the money because provision is what you want anyway. You can get the rest of the money.
Well, that's true. But I think, and one of the things I think is important, I don't think we should forget, it's vitally important how we are going to interact in the storms. And I think a lot of times we love to look pretty and we love to go out and we love to have fun on dates and all that stuff. But sometimes we never want to see, ask some real curious, inquisitive questions about what was the hardest time you've been in? How did you work on some things? How did you improve some things? What was your challenges? Asking some real root cause things, because a lot of times we don't know how someone will come up from the gravel, from the scrapes when we fall. What are your problem solving skills? Because I'm gonna tell you something. The number. Well, I have three things that I'm working with my clients right now, and it's my spectrum to try to help them. And it's like, how are you reacting? How are you responding? And then how are you resolving? Those are three major things with me, and I'm always curious to know that because it's vitally important in a love affair, in any type of situation. We need to know, how is this woman going to react?
Mm-hmm.
How is she going to, after her reaction, what's her response? Because a lot of times we don't know those two things. And if you don't know how a woman is going to resolve things, how's she going to raise your kid? How's she going to help you in a trial tribulation? What is she going to do for you if you got somewhere to be, she's got somewhere to be, you got one car, who's going to do what? Can she make decisions? I tell men all the time, it's vitally important that you choose a woman who can think in her own sense, in her own mind. What's her problem solving skills? Yeah, it's cool for her to cook, but what good is it if she doesn't know how to think? Because thinking is vitally important in a love affair. We have to know if she has problem solving skills. Is she in fantasy or is she in reality? Because a lot of times a pretty woman didn't have to think. Mind you, most women that are talking about all this money and transactions, they're not thought provoking. They're not curious about nothing. They just want to know, am I going to be able to swipe the card?
Am I gonna get
You know what I'm saying? And am I going to get that once you get off work? That's basic. But when you're talking about, I want to know, like, what's your biggest trial right now, so we can try to figure something out. If you don't have a woman curious about what's burdening you right now in the spirit, how is she going to do well when the storms come?
You're right, because I remember my grandfather told me, uh, you never know a woman until you have to tell her no 2, 3 times back to back. It's like he was saying, basically, bottom line, it's like a woman can tell a man no for sex over and over and over. A woman can tell a man no, she don't want to cook. A woman can tell a man no, she don't feel like certain things. And a man is sticking there. You know what I'm saying? A man don't just like, oh, I ain't getting no sex. No, I'm gone.
Right.
But it's like, if you tell a woman no and start to tell her no in more than one way, you are ending your relationship. You're starting to end it. It's like, if you tell your woman, no, I don't want you dressing like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Most women that don't really like you are gonna dress like that on purpose to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? If you tell her, no, I don't want you going here.
Yeah.
No, I don't want you spending money like this. No, I don't want us to go out. I want you to cook. It's like, no to a woman. It's like, whoo, you
Yeah.
you you
Well,
starting to end that thing. She gonna be telling her friends, something going on. I think something going on. This motherfucker, it's some, your ass finna get left. You start telling a woman no too much.
because we have a tendency to want a lot of things, but we rarely think about what we need.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, if we're in a love affair with a man, we have a tendency to get what we want, but we really should be looking for what we need. We look a lot for the optic view of the man. And a lot of times I say, you got to stay up current to the version of the man he is right now. Are you up to date? Because a lot of times we're still stuck in the man that first started dating us, not the you currently. and we're not aware, we're not spending time learning or studying shit about what our man is thinking about, where he's, what's on his heart and mind, what he's trying to create, what he's learning. We're not curious about none of it. Just when am I going to get that, and then how much am I going to be able to spend in this account? And so when you start to really pull back learning about a man and studying him, you start to realize that that's just not attractive. I'm not attractive to him. I'm not attracted to him anymore. I really would much rather somebody else. It's not that. What it is you're not trying to learn. You should
Mhm.
every day step back and say, you know what? I'm Carla Nicole, and you are? And you be looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? What's wrong with you? No, I don't know you. I don't want to think I know you just because we've been together all these years. Can we come to know each other for real, like on some new level shit? Because I don't want to assume just because we've talked about memories. I know your family. I know where you went to school and all this stuff. That's cool, but I want to get to know you now from here and now, so that I'm aware of the new version of you. We change constantly.
I saw this African lady. She was saying some dope shit. I thought it was cool. She was like, as a woman, no matter how long you get to be with your man and how long a man stop, the familiarity has to always not supersede that that's your wife and that's your husband. So
Right.
what she was saying is, her and her husband been together so long, she feel like she should be able to just fart around him. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow.
But
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? But that's what she was saying. But she was like, she can't.
Mm-mm.
She was like, just because they friends and they know every other's flaws, that's still her husband. There's a certain respect and a
Yes.
certain way that she needs to conduct herself around him, and vice versa.
Yes.
She was just saying, just because her husband, then seen her, her bloody drawers in the sink, don't mean he don't need to look at her like she's his princess, like she's his queen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we can be so familiar with somebody, we take for granted. They're like, ho, ho, ho. I know we like brothers and sisters and da 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 da, and we familiar, but I don't want to come home to a bonnet. And you know what I'm saying? Or
No.
vice versa. What this woman saying is, I know we familiar, but hey, I do want you to tell me to put on a dress and open my door and take me out sometime. You know what I'm saying? It's like we get so familiar
Yes.
with each other that we forget that
Yes.
there's a I guess a stereotype or whatever that a husband's supposed to be romantic too. Now, don't forget that you are supposed to be romantic and
Yes.
treat your wife like a princess to a certain extent. And
Yes.
then as a wife, don't forget, no matter how familiar you are, just because you done seen your husband sick at his weakest point, whining like a baby, don't mean that you ain't still supposed to see him as a king. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of the gist of what I got out of what she was saying. But she just, when she said the fart around him, I took it. I understood what she really meant. You know
Well,
what I'm
because
saying?
and you have to remember that, especially if you live in the same home. Let me tell you something that's very important. When you live in under the same roof and you don't really take time apart very often, or you're always constantly underneath each other, you start to be more like siblings than
Mm-hmm.
lovers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a woman and you're not in your thong and your pretty bras, and if you're not showing him a little something, he is going to, over time, you're going to end up being siblings and living in the same house, and then you'll end up abstinent, and then it will evolve to celibacy. Because over time, if you're not having that, ooh, I'm kind of wanting to see, ooh, she wears those cute panties, ooh, I like it when she wears the robe but nothing on underneath it and all this stuff, he gets aroused by that. He can't wait to see you. Like, I can't wait to see her. You start to lose that when you get comfortable. And in the comfort zone, you start to get laxed. You don't get a fresh cut. You don't get your beard trimmed up and all that. You don't think about it because you're like, oh, I got her now. She cool. She loves me. It's all good. It's like, yeah, but she wants you to she still wants you fresh up.
Want some cologne, nigga?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're women, so we want to see something, too. So again, it's important that we don't lose sight on the fact that if you live in the same house, or even if you're together and you just been together for a long time, If you aren't fixing up, if you're not showing a little thigh, a little leg or something, you're not really getting excited about seeing him. You're going to start to realize that he's just going to see you as a sibling over time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
exactly,
it's
exactly.
very important that women are like, ooh, he is fine as hell. I mean, Lord have mercy. We have to have those moments.
And like you say with the sibling, because me and Chris say all the time, we've transcended wife, we brother and sister, but we mean it on a level of understanding and conversation and how we would ride for each other. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Brother and sister, they can get mad at each other, but they always gonna ride for each other. But also, like I said, as far as her doing her little spotty spot thing, and we going on a little trip. We gonna have a conversation about this one day, Miss Carla, about me and Chris going on a trip October 16th through the like 20th. Long story
That's
short, I
Sweetest
was
Day, isn't it? That's Sweetest Day weekend.
that's what
I think that's Sweetest Day weekend.
I heard of Sweetest. Ain't that like when the women's supposed to give men gifts or something?
Sweetest Day is supposed to be like a Valentine's Day. No, it's a couple thing. So I mean, you both can work it, but Sweetest Day is like one of those days where it's like sweet for the lover and you and all that. It's
Okay,
like
yeah, I heard of that. My
yeah.
man from Detroit, he said up there the women give the men gifts instead of, like,
Okay.
the women treat the men instead of. But long story short,
Yep.
we going out of town for
Nice.
this. I was in this film and this getting nominated for an award, and
Nice.
I was like, okay, I was gonna go down there and do some network because I wrote a couple of films, couple of TV shows. So do some network, get fresh and be seen.
Of
It's a
course.
film festival, like 4 days. Somebody might want me in a movie.
Right.
Uh,
I need you to hurry up and get famous so we can go.
yeah, exactly. So I told Chris, I was like, you should take off and we should go. And she was
Nice.
like, well, that's something in the middle of the week. And I was like, just come on, let's go. And I was telling her, since Crystal was born, we haven't done a lot of stuff. And I realized why couples break up
Mm.
when they have a baby. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like the monotony of life, the responsibility, and
Yeah.
if you don't have a purpose, looking at that child as a purpose, it will become a burden on your relationship because you're like, oh, we don't do this no more. We don't do that no more. We don't do that no more.
Of
You
course.
know, so I want to talk about that one day. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I might holler at you about making a flyer for that. We're gonna get the marriage Mondays back going. But like I said, she's real busy right
I
now.
get it. No, I get
You know
it.
what I'm saying? So
Go on, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, man, I was just thinking about, like you said earlier, the transactional thing now, it really has to be discussed up front. Almost like going into a business deal.
Well, it's loveless. Is what
Yeah,
there's no
yeah,
love there when you're
yeah.
talking about money and punani.
And service. Yeah.
Well,
That's
I
what
mean,
the
it's just
guys coming with
money
money and
and
she coming
punani
with
or money
service.
and sex or whatever you want to call it, but that's what it's coming down to, and that's where both people end up becoming less of a human soul,
Hmm.
living
I
soul.
would really feel like a servant as a woman.
Yeah,
If,
like why I gotta do?
yeah,
That's all you want me for.
yeah,
That's
yeah. I would really feel like a servant. And then as a dude, I would really feel like,
at
man, this chick
ATM.
just want me for my money. It's like,
You're an
you know what I'm
ATM.
saying? God, that's gotta be crazy.
But
That's
a
gonna
lot of times, because this has been a new narrative that it's getting a lot of clout, a lot of airplay. You have to remember, and I've said this earlier this week, or it might have been today. I said you got to be careful what you say. So if you're constantly talking about, I need money, a man's got to pay this, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, that goes into the atmosphere. Your girlfriends are talking about it. Now your friend clash and everybody else is talking about it. Then anything you watch is in that same lane in alignment with what you're talking about. What that does is that creates a whole narrative and energy because everything's energy.
yeah.
So if we get in alignment with that conversation, guess what that does? All we're going to start seeing is people into transactional relationships.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
if you get around wholesome, loving, dynamic love affairs, then guess what you're going to hear about? You're not hearing about divorce. You're hearing about, man, I tore my wife up last night and me and him went here and we did this and my wife had my back. Man, I was almost at the brink of losing my job if I was late one more day. She got up an hour early, made sure I had everything in place. She looked out for me, made sure I got up, showered. Come on, you got to get up because you know you cannot be late. That is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's when you're sitting back and like, oh, you know what? She had my back because for real, my reputation was on the line. They were trying to scandal me at work. She made sure to go out there and say, look, I don't know what you're getting, but I have the times, the dates when he was here with me. He had this time, this time, this time. We can even pull the people in and show when he was buried doing this and doing that. When you have someone on your in the back of you and really looking out for you, you realize that it's not just about you.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
also see, oh, she actually got my back for real.
Well, there it is, y'all. Another episode of Ranting and Raving Wednesday was me
You
and
forgot I have
Carla.
a surprise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get into your surprise. My bad, my bad, my
You're
bad.
messing up.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I've been trying my best to get off right at 9. Me and Trav was going last night, and right at 9, it felt so good. And then I realized why shows are an hour, because at an hour, it's like if you got a good show like this was, in an hour, you get so much in, but it seemed like it's gone so fast.
I
But
know.
then it's like make people want to tune in again next
Of
week because
course.
we didn't
Yes.
overdo them. So I'm gonna try to, stick to the hour format. But yeah, what you got for us, Miss Carla? Miss Carla got a surprise.
So currently we are doing Living Soul weekly forecast. So now, Mr. Clark, I got you something that you weren't even knowing you were getting today. I have your forecast numbers for this week. Actually,
Forecast me.
sure. So listen, your baseline, which is your soul elements for this week, you're gonna get this on a printout. I'm gonna actually email it to you, so don't forget
Okay,
to print
okay.
it so you can actually read it.
And look, this gonna be crazy because I got some shit going on. I hope
Oh,
watch this line up. I already know. Okay, give it to me.
okay. So this week, um, your soul elements for this week, you have 2 earthwood, you have 3 water elements this week, you have 2 metal elements, 2 air, and 3 fire elements this week for you. So what does that mean? So fire rises. So by the time you get to September the 3rd, I'm sorry, October the 3rd, it's going to repeat strongly this week. So pay attention. So that means that a lot of passion, a lot of fire, a lot of, don't start, Javon, don't start. It's going to be really hot. And then your passion for your work is very high this week. Also, your air lifts midweek, which means you're going to have a lot more adverse to where you are feeling supported by the water elements, which is very important for you because right now it is not good for the actual air element for the atmosphere. Right now there's zero air going on.
No
Period.
air, no
No air.
air. Ain't that a song?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Now, guess what? Your metal is steady this week, so we're doing good there. Your metal is steady, so that means you're you're good. You're gonna
I'm
be
kicking
solid
ass.
on your logistics. You're gonna be cool with that. You are now your water is gonna be present this week, but it's gonna be early and then late. So it's not gonna be in midweek. It's not gonna be as dynamic, but it'll be pretty steady. And then your earth wood this week is consistent. It is going to anchor you this week. So you'll be solid for this week, which is important. Now, check this out. The week amplifies fire plus air, and your air is supported by your water for you. So this adds a layer of fast action and mental pace onto your natural water base that you have, and your flow and your earth rhythm. So you're like I am, grounded in the earth, which is very important. You'll feel energized, but you must be anchored to avoid burnout. So pay attention to that. Please be aware that okay, I'm really on a press time thing going on, but you will find yourself that you may get burned out. So pay attention. Now, your overdrive this week, your air is surged and may push you into fast decision making. Are you really realizing that? You're going to have
Mm-hmm.
restless thoughts and without grounding. So you need to go outside, take your shoes and socks off, and get to grounding.
I do that every day. My people laugh at me, be like, "Why the fuck you always walk around with no shoes on?" And I didn't even know what that shit was. I just was
Grounding.
boy
Yes, you
doing
need
that
to do
shit.
that definitely this week because your emotions will start pacing a lot.
Grounding.
And then your water, it risks to become scattered. So you need to be mindful of that. So your tension index this week is kind of moderate to high. So your passion may override emotional steadiness, and then your restless thoughts may disrupt your rhythm. So if you're restless, Javon, please pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm,
Your
mm-hmm.
tension means balancing your strong water intuition against your fire's urgency. Remember, I told you you're high in fire this week. And then it says here your metal alignment supports decisive action. So this is a good week for you to actually be decisive, making decisions.
Bust a move, and I'm a bust a move.
Yes, sir. And you're already in alignment for that. Your
Mm-hmm.
air fuels ideas, but can scatter. So be careful. You might be like, oh, I got an idea. And then the next thing you know, you're over here with this idea. So pay attention to that. Now, your water does help sustain your flow when your emotions are honored. Okay, so be aware of that. And your best window for this week is Thursday through Saturday. What's up with the smile?
I'm going out of town this weekend. I'm
Okay,
actually, yeah,
okay, because the big old smile. Okay.
yeah. I'm going out of town this weekend.
Now let me tell you, your gender energy and your energy position. Remember we talked about this before. So you have zero masculine this week, 50% feminine, and 50% androgynous. Your energy position is 25% dominant, 0% neutral, 75% submissive. Now, this is your energy. I know you'd be like, I ain't submissive. No, your energy position is submissive this week. And then your masculine is at 31%. Your feminine is 40.6%. And your androgynous is 28.1%. Your dominant energy is 12.5% this week. Your neutral energy is 40.6, and your submissive energy is 46.9. So now check this out. Your delta baseline is 31% up this week. Your feminine is down 9.4% this week. Your androgynous is pretty steady at 21%. Your dominant is 12%. Your neutral is up. So you're going to be pretty laid back, but you're going to be kind of cool. You know, like you're saying, you're going to be doing your thing. You're going to be good for this week. But now remember, you normally are pretty much feminine submissive and tuned into yielding your emotion. And this week shifts you into more neutral balance and introduces you into masculine decisiveness. Expect moments where you feel more assertive than usual and you have a chance to test new confidence.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out of town this weekend. I'm actually going on an excursion, so that's gonna be a good situation.
Okay,
That's gonna be a good
I'm not
situation.
going to give you all the rest, but I will tell you this. What day would you like me to share with you the most that you would really like to know this week? To really
Friday.
Friday. Okay, so your elements on Friday, it says here that you may feel pressure to act boldly. Your your water steadiness can cool the fire, keeping you from impulsive choices.
Mm.
Okay? So that's not all of it. You're going to get everything, but we are doing
Slap that bitch.
so so check this out. So check this out. We're doing weekly readings now for our clients. So if you are interested in getting this by every week, they're weekly reports. So you can actually know what your element scores are, knowing where your tension is, learning about your productivity. Where am I at in my productivity index? We have different scores for that. So you can learn it. And we got that off of your numbers. Your living soul forecast for per week, you can get it.
That's what's up. Y'all hit Miss Carla up. Her numbers right there for the Living Soul readings, for life coaching, for the new
Questionnaires and tests.
questionnaires to see where you fall in.
Yes,
And
sir.
we're gonna do what we normally do. We're gonna tell y'all, stay tuned in, tap it, and turn on.
Yes, sir.
Y'all stay tuned in for Trav Perry tomorrow.
Yeah.
Facebook 9:30 p.m. for hero training. We appreciate y'all and love y'all.
Yeah.
And we are